When you twist an ankle or cut your finger, the body's response is obvious. The area swells, turns red, and heals. But there is a hidden, fiery glow occurring inside your blood vessels right now. This internal reaction is called inflammaging. It is a low-grade, persistent inflammation that slowly accumulates in your tissues as you get older. Unlike a sprained ankle that heals in a few days, this constant cellular friction never entirely goes away. It quietly damages your tissues over decades, driving up your risk for chronic, age-related diseases. This graphic illustrates our primary biological defense against this process, a dietary shield. Notice how the protective blue and green barrier actively deflects those red, spiky, inflammatory particles away from the central human figure. Pulling back to view the full infographic, we can see how this shield is actually built. It relies on a two-front system: dietary selections grouped on the left and dietary patterns grouped on the right. Protecting your core biology requires mastering both sides of this diagram. It is a matter of combining specific physical ingredients with precise meal timing to maintain your internal armor. The first front is dietary selections. Think of these as the physical building blocks you feed into your system on a daily basis. Some of those inputs act directly as fuel for the fire. Highly processed foods, excess sugar, and refined carbohydrates subject your cells to severe, immediate stress. To counter that stress, we use the Mediterranean foundation. This involves a heavy rotation of fruits, vegetables, legumes, fish, and olive oil. This animated diagram shows exactly how those specific foods work in your blood. They provide a dense supply of antioxidants, helpful molecules that seek out and neutralize rigid red inflammatory markers before they can damage your blood vessels. And the battle extends from the blood right down into the digestive tract. Here, dense, fibrous plant particles from those vegetables and legumes arrive to feed a vital layer of beneficial microbes. By nourishing these specific bacteria with fiber, they multiply to form a physical wall. Watch as they actively block red inflammatory signals, preventing them from crossing the gut barrier and leaking out into your wider system. By choosing the right physical inputs, you construct an internal biological filter that suffocates inflammation at the source. But the ingredients are only half the equation. The second front is dietary patterns, the specific clock and structural composition of your meals. One highly effective pattern is intermittent fasting, a practice that establishes a strict daily schedule for internal maintenance. Even with a perfect diet, your body requires a complete pause from digestion to do its house cleaning. In this video, you can see a cell physically sweeping up and dissolving fragmented, damaged protein structures to keep the area clear. This scheduled downtime forces your system to activate cellular repair, cleaning out the daily microdamage caused by inflammaging. Alongside timing, we also have to adjust our macro composition as we get older, deliberately prioritizing protein and healthy fats over empty carbohydrates. This specific structural focus supplies the exact materials older adults require to maintain muscle strength, preserve joint functionality, and prevent physical frailty. While your food selections provide the raw materials, your eating patterns act as the biological operations manual. They instruct your cells exactly when to clean up the internal damage and when to reinforce the armor. This schematic illustrates the complete system at work. Notice how the sweeping colored bands connect the outer circles directly into the center, showing how selections and patterns form two interlocking halves of a single defense mechanism. This architecture proves that the slow burn of inflammaging is not an unstoppable slide into physical decline. Age-related inflammation is a highly sensitive biological process. It reacts immediately, day by day, to the specific foods you ingest and the strict routines you keep. A standard diet focuses entirely on temporary weight loss. This two-front framework is completely different. You are consciously instructing your cells to prioritize long-term repair and survival. By pairing the right biological materials with optimal internal timing, you actively forge a lifelong shield for healthy, resilient aging.